Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So today is the 27th lecture of business statistic. So the today topic is the mean and variance of a discrete random variable. So in my previous lecture, I have already discussed in great detail what is discrete random variable and what is continuous random variable. We, we, we have already discussed different problems, different questions, and we use the concept of probability in different questions that how we will calculate specific probability distributions. So I mean today I'm just going to show you how you will calculate mean and variance of a discrete random variable. So I mean mean, generally mean is the average, but in simple scenario mean, if we add all the number and when we divide with the total of those number, then we will get mean. But if there is some specific probabilistic approach, involved, some probability distribution involved, then the mean calculation formula will be a little bit different. In today's lecture, I'm also going to show you how you will calculate variance. So variance is basically in statistic, we have already studied the concept of variance, different laws of variance, uh, what variance give us. Basically variance show us variation in a specific data set. So I mean if the variance is too the value of variance is too high, it's mean that the data set is very risky, there is too much fluctuation in the data available. So on the basis of that variance we decide that what should we need to do. So I mean we can also use mean and variance in the forecasting, in prediction. So I mean today I'm going to show you that how it will be working. So the mean of a discrete random variable, basically the formulation, how you will write, how you will denote the mean of a discrete random variable, we normally denote with the ex. E is the capital which show expected value of x. X show the random variable. In this case x is our discrete random variable. We can also denote with the mu sign. Mu is equal to, which is summation. Summation mean all x. For example, we have three values in x, 1 2 3. So mean when we add all those, when we multiply the random variable with respect to their probabilities, then at this way we can calculate mean. Ex is not a random variable but a fixed value. So I mean if C is a constant, then the mean of a constant will be that value. So I mean I'm just going to show you a simple example. For example, if we throw a die, okay, so what will be the sample space? Sample space will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Okay, so we have 6 possible outcomes: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And the probability of each possible outcome is 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6, 1 by 6 and 1 by 6. So in this case, how we will calculate mean? Mean will be summation x into px. So we have already construct the probabilities of when we throw a coin. So there is a chance that you will get 1, there is a chance that you will get, sorry, when you throw a die, there is a chance that you will get 1, there is a chance that you will get 2, there is a chance that you will get 3, 4, 5 and 6. And these are their respective chances probabilities. There is a chance that you will get 1. The chance is 1 by 6. Why 1 by 6? Because the total number are 6. So we have 6 possible outcomes. So in the next step, we need to multiply the x with their respective probabilities. So it will be 1 into 1. 1 into 1 by 6 will be 1 by 6. 2 into 1 by 6 will be 2 by 6. Similarly, 3 by 6, 4 by 6, 5 by 6 and 6 by 6. So you need to sum this. So 6 plus 5, 11, 11 plus 4, 11 plus 4, 15, 15 plus 3, 15 plus 3, 18, 18 plus 2, 20, and the total will be Ex will be 21 by 6. So this is my mean of this random variable. This experiment mean is 21 by 6. So at this way you will calculate mean in a probabilistic random discrete random variable. Okay, there is another example. Find the probability distribution of the sum of dots when two fair dice are thrown. Find its mean. So you already understand this phenomenon when you throw two dice. So first of all, you need to understand what will be the sample space. It will be 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6. Similarly, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 6, 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, and 6, 6. So how many possible outcomes we have? We have 36 all possible outcomes. So now the question is, find the probability distribution of the sum of dot when two fair dice are thrown. So you need to sum it now. Okay, so from here you need to start 2, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, 1 plus 4, 5, 5 plus 1, 6, 6 plus 1, 7. So you need to construct it, x. So the sum will be start from 2, because 1, 1 will become 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Because the heaviest number are 6, 6 and 6. 6 and 6 will be equal to 12. And their respective chances, respective probabilities will be, okay, 2, 2. So how many chances when you add two number and the total is 2? So there is only two numbers, 1 plus 1, 2. So there is only one chance, 1 by 36. Why 36? Because the total possible number, possible outcomes are 36. Similarly 2. So you can see 2 plus 1 and 1 plus 2 is 3. So there are two numbers. There are two numbers. So it will be 2 by 36. Okay. This is 4. So how many number when you add it become 4? So 1 plus 3, 2 plus 2, 4, and 3 plus 1. So there are three number. So we need to write their probabilities 3 by 36. The next one is 5. So you can see 4 plus 1, 5, 3 plus 2, 5, 2 plus 3, 5, and 4 plus 1, 5. So it will be 4, it will be 4 by 36. For 6, it will be 5 by 36. For 7, it will be 6 by 36. Why 6 by 36? Because 6 plus 1, 7, 5 plus 2, 7, 4 plus 3, 7, 3 plus 4, 7, 2 plus 5, 7, and 1 plus 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is why 6 by 36. For 8, it will be 5 by 36. Why 5 by 36? 6 plus 2, 4, 8. 5 plus 3, 8. 4 plus 4, 8. 3 plus 5, 8. And 6 plus 2, 8. So we have 5 numbers. So that is why we just write 5 by 36. For 9, it will be 4 by 36. For 10, it will be 3 by 36. For 11, it will be 2 by 36. And for 12, it will be 1 by 36. Because there are only two number when we add it, and it will give us 12. So that is why 1 by 36. So we already construct the possible chances probability. Then we need to construct a line. In the next step, we need to multiply x with px. So it will be 2 by 36, 3 to the 6, 6 by 36, 12 by 36, 20 by 36, 30 by 36, 7 6 the 42 by 36, 8 5 the 40 by 36, 9 4 the 36 by 36, 10 3 the 30 by 36, 11 to the 22 by 36, and 12 1 the 12 by 36. So when you, because our mean is equal to summation x into px, now you need to add all these things. So this will be the answer of the above question. The most important thing, you need to understand how you will construct the sample space. When you construct a sample space, then the rest question is very easy. You need to sum the dots. So mean these are the, when you we add two dots, these will be the sums: 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, and their respective chances. And then we need to multiply with the x with respect to their respective chances. Then we need to sum it. We will get the mean. Okay, there is another question. A man draw two balls from a bag containing three white and five black balls. If he receives 70 for every white ball, he draw and rupees 7 for every black ball. Find his expectation. So the most important thing in this question, you need to understand, you need to extract data. How many white ball they have and how many black ball they have. So I mean total are 8 balls and he draw only 2 balls. Okay, but for each ball the winning prize is different. So first of all we need to construct this combination. Okay, the first combination will be, both white ball. Okay, if both are white ball, then what will be the price? Because 70 for every white ball, so both are white ball, so it will be 70 plus 70. Okay, this is the first one. The second chance is both are black ball. So in this case, because he will get only 7 for every black ball, so in this case we will write 7 plus 7. In this case it will be 14, and in this case it will be 140. Okay, okay, there is also another chance, because from the bag he throwing two balls, so there is a chance that both ball will be white ball, there is a chance that both ball will be black ball, and there is also a chance that one ball will be one white and one black ball. So if one is white, the winning price will be 70, and the other is black, it will be 7. So it will be 77. So these are X values, the reward which we will get. If we get two white ball, the reward will be 140. If we get two black ball, the reward will be 14. And if one is white and one is black, the reward will be 77. Now the most important thing in this question, to construct their probability. So you people know the combination concept, because in this case both are white ball. So both are white ball, other will be 0. So how we will calculate this? 3C2 and 5C0 divided by 8C2. We just apply the combination rule. So 3C2 5C0 divided by 8C2, it will be equal to 3 by 28. 5C0 will be equal to 1, 3C2 will be equal to 3, and 8C2 will be equal to 28. So, okay, in this scenario, what will be the sequence? What will be the probability? Both are black ball. So now in this case, the case will be different. It will be 0 and it will be both are black ball. Okay, so how we will write this? 3C0 5C2 divided by 8C2. So in this case 3C0 will be 1 and 5C2 will be 10, and 8 combination 2 will be 28. So these will be the respective chances. Okay, in this case one is black. So if one is black, so you can write it. If one is black, white 3, black 5, total are 8. If one is white and one is black, and if they draw two balls, so we can write this 3C1 5C1 divided by 8C2. So in this case it will be 3 into 5, because 3C1 is 3 and 5C1 is 5 and 8C2 is 28. So it will be 15 by 28. So in the next step you need to multiply x with px, which will be 140 into the probability is 3 by 28. So you need 3 by 28. Similarly 14 into 10 by 28, and similarly the other one will be 77 into 15 by 28. So when you sum x into px, when you sum all these, okay, this will be equal to 420 by 28, this will be equal to 140 by 28, and this will be equal to 1155 by 28. So when you sum it, it will be equal to the mean of x, and the mean of x will be equal to 1715 by 28. So at this way you can construct mean of a specific discrete random variable. Okay, proceeding to the laws of expected value. So just like we already studied simple laws of mean and simple laws of standard deviation, but now these laws are strictly related to the random variable and specifically discrete random variable. So we already mentioned that the constant mean will be constant. For example, what will be the mean of 3? It will be 3. But what will be the mean of a 3 plus 2 plus 1? So 3 plus 2 plus 1 will be 6 divided by 3. So it will be 2. So the expected value of a constant c is just the value of the constant. And I already mentioned the example. E, when you apply E with x, it will be Ex plus Ec. So the constant mean will be c. Constant mean will be c mean. What will be E of 3? It will be 3. Okay, the expected value of a random variable plus a constant is the expected value of the random variable plus the constant. For example, if I ask you what will be the probability mean of 3x, so it will be 3 will become out and it will be 3x ex. So x is a random variable and 3 is a constant, so constant will become out. The expected value of a constant time, a random variable, is the constant time the expected value of the random variable. So if x and y are independent, independent mean x will not depending on y and y is not depending on x, mean x probability will not be affected while y occur, and y probability will not be affected while x occur. So in this case exy, ex into y will be ex into ey. You can write this. Similarly, if x and y are independent, then ex plus minus y, if it is plus, then ex plus ey. Mean of x plus mean of y. And in negative case, it will be mean of x minus mean of y. Okay. Similarly, we already studied that C1 is the constant, so C1 will become out and it will be Ex1. C2 is also a constant, it will become out and it will be Ex2. C3 Ex3 plus C4 Ex4. So I'm just going to solve a simple example to show you how we will apply these laws of expected value in real world problem. So you need to understand once again that constant mean will be constant. If we apply mean on a set where there is a variable add with a constant, then we will write it like this. If it is a random, if two independent random variable, then it will be look like this. So variance And standard deviation also play a very important role in statistic and specifically in probability, how we will calculate variance, how we will check the variation in a data. In order to check the shape, we already studied standard deviation, shape, normal distribution, etc., etc. So what kind of shape is it? Is it a lepticartic? Is it a mesocartic? Or is it a platycartic? Is it a rightly skewed? Is it a negatively skewed? So mean from variance and standard deviation we will understand these specific phenomenon. So the variance of a discrete random variable is given by variance of x. Normally we denote with this, just like we denote ex for mean. So vx show variance. Sigma square, normally we write this with sigma square. And how we will write this? How we will calculate summation x minus mu. Mu is representing ex, which is mean, square into px. To find the standard deviation of the discrete random variable, take the square root of variance. So when we take the square root of a variance, just like in this one, it will be cancelled with this and we will get standard deviation. So standard deviation, when we take square root of the variance, we will get standard deviation. So before going to that, I'm just going to solve a very simple example. For example, x is a random variable, which is the values of x are 0, 1, 2 and 3, and their respective probabilities are 0.08, this one and this one. So I already show you how we will calculate the mean. So now in this case, how we will calculate the mean? Mean will be x into px. Okay, in the next step, x into px. So ex will be summation x into px. So we already calculate this for you. 0 into this plus 1 into this plus 2 into this plus 3 into this. So in this case our mean is 2.4. Similarly for variance we need to follow this. So first of all we need to calculate x minus mu. So for example, if I construct a line over here, okay, x minus mu. So this is my mu, this is my mean. So x minus mu, and x is 0 minus 2.4, 1 minus 2.4, 2 minus 2.4 and 3 minus 2.4. So we will get this. In the next step, what you need to do? X minus mu whole square, because in the formula we have x minus mu whole square. So just like in this one, 0 minus 2.4 whole square, okay, multiply with the probability. So mean we just applying this formula directly. In the next step, when you did this, in the next step you need to multiply this with the probability. So in the next step you need to calculate summation, which will be, when you sum it, it will be summation x minus mu whole square into px, which will give you variance of x or sigma square. So in this case we have already calculated the variance, which is 0.479. When you take the square root, as I already mentioned, taking the square root of the variance will give you standard deviation. So while taking the square root, you will get 0.692. And I already show you that how you will calculate mean, variance and standard deviation in Excel, or if you want to use Minitab, so you can easily calculate these mean and variance. Okay, the next one is, just like we have discussed the laws of mean, so mean there are also some laws for variance. Why the constant variance is equal to 0? So mean variance mean variation. When there is no variation, when there is only one constant, for example 2, so there is nothing happening in 2, for example 2 o'clock, and if I choose a time period 2 and 3, so there will be some variation occur during this time period. But for a specific notation, for a specific constant value, variance will be equal to 0. So the variance of a constant is 0. Okay, just like we apply the laws of mean, ex plus c. So mean of a constant is constant, but mean variance of a constant is equal to 0. We have already mentioned. So when we apply this variance on this, it will be equal to variance of x. Okay, variance into Cx, it will be become C square into Vx. The variance of a random variable and a constant coefficient is the coefficient square time the variance of a random variable. So if you want to handle such like scenario, for example, this one is, I'm just showing you variance of 3x. It will be 3 square into variance of x. So it will be 9 variance of x. Okay. So this is the law of variance. Okay. If x and y are independent, so variance of x plus y will be equal to variance of x plus variance of y. Or if variance of x minus y, then it will be equal to variance of x minus variance of y. Similarly, in this one, there is a combination of constant multiply with the variable. So b will become out, b square, it will become b square vx plus constant variance is equal to 0. So we not writing 0 at this place. Variance of x plus y is equal to, okay, if x and y are independent, then we can write it like this. But if x and y are not independent, then there will be definitely some covariation. There will be a covariation exists between x and y. And in that case, we will write it variance of x plus variance of y plus 2 covariance of x into y. So we have already studied the law of covariance of x and y. So when we put the values, we will get variance of x plus y if x and y are not independent. But if x and y are independent, then this will be the scenario, not this one. So laws of standard deviation. So because when we taking the square root of variance, we will get the standard deviation. So similarly, if the constant variance is equal to 0, definitely standard deviation. Deviation means deviate from the mean. How much changes occur when you deviate from the mean, when you move from a specific mean. So mean, if it is a constant, it will be 0. Similarly for SD x minus c, so it will be standard deviation of x. Standard deviation of x, because standard deviation of a constant is 0. So in both cases, it will be minus 0 and it will be plus 0. So we not need to write it. Similarly, in this case, standard deviation, if it was a variance, then b square will be, because when you taking the square root, 2 square. So when you taking the square root, b square root, so we will write this in the modulus because it will be positive. It will not be negative. So this modulus will make a negative value a positive. The negative value will become positive due to this modulus. So b modulus standard deviation of x, and definitely it's a constant, so it will be 0. There is an example, standard deviation of 3x minus 8. So 3 will become out. This is plus, so that is why we not write plus, we not write the modulus sign. But if it was minus 3x, then definitely it will become positive because variation will be positive. So it will be 3 into standard deviation of x, and this will be equal to 0. Similarly, standard deviation of x plus y. So we can write square root of variance of x plus variance of y. So we will write this square root variance of x plus variance of y. So at this way we can interpret. Now I'm just going to solve a very simple example because we have already discussed different laws of mean, different laws of variance, and different laws of standard deviation. So with this example, I'm going to show you how these laws work practically while solving this example. So a random variable x has the following probability distribution. So these are the random variables and these are the respective chances or probabilities of these numbers. Now the question is find mean, variance, standard deviation. Then we will use specific laws which we have studied for mean, for variance, and for standard deviation. So you can easily solve this because this is our x random variable. These are the px. So the mean, you can easily calculate the mean. How you will calculate mean? Because this is the formulation for mean. Ex is equal to summation x into px. For example, these are the random variables and these are the probabilities. So how we will calculate the mean? So this is my mean formula. Ex is equal to mu is equal to summation x into px. So how you will write this? Is equal to this into their respective probability. So when you enter, then you need to drag it down. When you need to drag it down, automatically when you click this, it will automatically multiply 2 multiply with their respective chance. So you will calculate. So mean will be is equal to, you need to sum it, summation, sum this whole column, enter. So this is your mean. Okay, next step is, because we want to calculate variance, so variance is equal to summation x minus mu whole square into px. So now in the next step we need to calculate x. So this is our x minus, this is my mean, because mean, we will subtract mean from all these numbers. So for this we need to put a dollar sign between the cell number. Okay, enter. Okay, so when you click it, 1 minus this, you need to drag it down. Okay, so when you click this one, automatically 2 minus mean. When you click this one, 5 minus mean, so it will give you x minus ex. Next step is x minus mean or x minus ex whole square. So we need to take square. How you will take square in Excel? This power 2, and then you need to drag it down. So this is the square. In the next step, because in the variance formulation, x minus mu whole square into px. So in the next step is equal to this into their respective probabilities. This. Okay. Then you need it to drag it down automatically. For example, if you click this, so this probability multiply with the x minus mean whole square. So you will get this value. So how you will calculate variance is equal to sum of what? The formula x minus mu whole square into px. Sum of this whole and enter. So you will get this. As we know that the standard deviation is the square root of the variance. So is equal to SQ RT. Automatically it will appear after equal square root of this, of the variance. So this is our standard deviation. So these are our values. Okay, if you want to calculate, we already calculate mean, variance, standard deviation. So for this one, which is e 8x square minus 7x plus 6. So how you will do it? E 8x square minus e 7x plus e 6. So 8 will become out according to the laws of mean. X square minus 7 ex plus constant mean is 6. Now ex square, how we will calculate ex square? So as we know, ex is summation x into px. So what will be ex square? It will be summation x square into px. So now we need to calculate x square into px, x square. So how you will calculate x square? So is equal to this and taking square, and then you need to drag it down. When you need to drag it down, it will be 1 1 1 2 2 the 4, 3 3 the 9, 4 4 the 16, 5 5 the 25, and 6 6 the 36. In the next step, x square into px, we need to multiply x square with the respective probability. Okay, then you not need to do it again and again, just drag it down, automatically it will calculate this for you. So it will be x square into px, then you need to sum it, is equal to, so it will be equal to e x square, it will be ex square, and sum of this. So this is 21.944. So this value is 21.944. this is my value. Okay. Similarly, you can put this value in this. So 8 21.94 minus 7, and ex value is 4.466. So we will write this 4.46 plus 6. So adding this, you will get the answer. Similarly, for E7 minus 3x, so E7 minus 3x will be, how we will write this? E7 minus 3x. We can write this 7 minus 3ex. So 7 minus 3, and we know that ex is 4.46. So this will be 4.46. So this will be the answer. Similarly, for variance of x, variance 14 plus 5x. So variance, constant variance is equal to 0. Variance 5x. So this will be equal to 0 because constant variance is equal to 0. According to the law, 5 square variance of x. So it will be 25, and variance of x is, we already calculate variance, which is 1.96. So we will write this 1.96. So this will be the answer. Similarly, for variance of 14 minus 5x, it will be equal to 0 plus variance minus 5x. So it will be 0 plus minus 5 square variance of x. So it will be 25 variance of x, which will be 25 into 1.96. So this will be the same answer. Standard deviation 14 plus 5x. So standard deviation 14 plus standard deviation 5x, it will be equal to 0 plus 5 standard deviation of x. So is equal to 5, and we already calculated standard deviation, which is 1.40. So we will write this 1.40, this one. So we will get the answer. Similarly, standard deviation 14 minus 5x, which will be equal to standard deviation 14 plus standard deviation minus 5x. So standard deviation, it will be 0 plus modulus, because we will write this in modulus, standard deviation of x. So it will be modulus, minus will become positive, into 1.40. So this will be the answer. So with this way, you can use the laws if you already calculated the values of mean, variance, standard deviation. So while using the laws, you can easily calculate all these things. So you can try this example as an assignment, and then you can send it to me through my email address. So I hope that you understand it, and if you still have some problem, then please contact with me. Please, we can also discuss in the interactive session, and soon we will arrange that session. Thank you.